It's always thrilling to discover hidden movies, and over the 2 latest years, I have watched a couple of South Korean action movies such as Yaksa Ruthless Operations, The Gangster, The Cop, The Devil, and The Outlaws, which are all highly ultra-violent action movies. What I more than most feel with those movies are that they often are casted even better than the new Hollywood action movies coming out today. And that's also how I feel with this hidden action movie I found called I Saw the Devil from 2010, which is both, of course, ultra-violent, very well casted, and highly entertaining, much like those mentioned movies. That's why I absolutely will say it is the best action movie nobody has heard about, certainly at least not in the Western world, where we mostly see those badly casted action movies these days. In this movie, however, the tension is extreme. It is, of course, as I mentioned, highly violent, and those two main characters, played by Choi Min-sik as the serial killer, and Lee Byung-hun as the secret agent hunting him down. Those are the two driving this movie into an ocean of violence. Basically, picture yourself if Monkey Man had been better paced and had even more violence before those 40 minutes. And picture a Death Wish movie, but even more violent, then you pretty much have the description of this movie. Whether some very weird shit, like this couple for instance, having a fridge full of human meat and kidnapping more people in order to get more fresh human meat to eat. But the movie is really a cat and mouse game between the serial killer and the secret agent in the story, where the secret agent is out for revenge, but not the usual easy cliche kind of revenge. That's why the revenge plot really is even better done than in Monkey Man, because here you see the main character do this game where he releases the prey only for him to hunt him once again, with a rush of stone cold violence you hardly ever see in action movies these days. Of course, they happen in some of them, but the violence done here is very extreme. The story is basically the classic one, that his wife is killed and he is out for revenge, but then he gets 4 suspects, which he brutally tortures till he finds the one responsible. The last guy he also tortures, but unlike those other guys where he does not induce a hardcore form of violence, the serial killer in this story is constantly released and then beaten up again and again like some sort of catch and release game, where the violence goes up a notch each and every single time. Of course, the cat and mouse play comes into play when the serial killer in some of the cases actually manages to be the cat, dealing violence against the police chief and also hurting a guy in a pharmacy. So that's why the movie is also unconventional and clever, because it is not only one guy part of the revenge, the serial killer is also very much part of it as he fights back, punishing the agent for his mistakes of letting him live. Of course, he deals a lot of violence against those innocent women himself and is a part of the violence train in this movie. He also is involved in one of the most brutal opening scenes in a movie, where he basically cuts up the wife in this story in a brutal, gruesome way, which may be too much for some people, but if you like violence portrayed on the big screen, you will find it interesting. And it reminds me of the opening scene in The Equalizer 3, but unlike this movie, that movie is a lot softer on violence, like many Hollywood action movies today. Because really, I feel Asian action movies such as The Raid or this mentioned movie has taken over the ultra-violent action movies in Hollywood that they used to make before. What of course also makes these action movies so brilliant and thrilling is the way they never slow down in any way. Basically, it is an adrenaline junkie movie that holds you reeled into the edge and holds you there for the whole movie. There's a little time for reflection and deep thinking that you may see in some other movies. Basically, this cat and mouse game of a movie has a plan to entertain you more than most, with high focus on non-stopping violence, bulldozer action scenes, and of course the bone-crushing tension between the main characters that may make it look like the Asian version of The Fugitive. Of course, I've now been talking up this movie, and compared to a lot of other movies. I really have compared it to a lot of other movies, but that's really a title it deserves, because this is really a hidden treasure when it comes to action movies. You do not often see these days an action movie that has so much focus on entertaining you, with violence, no annoying characters, and of course I also feel the acting is better in this movie, as it is naturally casted the way it should be. All the actors really fit those roles they are put in the way they should. Too many movies these days can't really pick a good cast, but that's not the case in South Korea, where they now have a large breed of up-and-coming action movies, where they managed to do them more right, unlike the new stuff coming up from Hollywood today, and that's why this is really the best action movie nobody has heard about, and a clear 8 out of 10 for me.